Hey guys, it's Cristin live, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite dessert snacks, which is bourbon candied pecans. They are absolutely delicious. Not so much healthy, but I mean, it's just a really great fall snack, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. I know we haven't got to Halloween yet, but what a great little thing to have on the table to offer people before dinner's ready or give away as Christmas gifts or whatever you want to do. So let's just go ahead and start right into it. I've got a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I've got my oven preset to 200. So what I'm going to do is take about 5 tablespoons of butter, and just, they're room temperature, so they're a little messy, but it just makes it melt quicker, and then the butter won't burn because it's not like cold going into a hot oven. So we're just gonna put that in for about 10 minutes, let it melt, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. So the 10 minutes is up, and I'm going to go ahead and take the baking sheet out with the butter melted. Slide that over there for now. Okay. And then I've got 2 egg whites, and the only reason you want to make sure it's just the egg whites is because if you put the whole egg in there, the yellow will actually make the pecans burn, which gives it kind of like, you know, nobody likes that burnt taste. So anyway, 2 egg whites, I'm just going to put it on low. We don't want like a stiff peak, just really well mixed. Oops, a little messy. Okay, and I've got 4 cups of pecan halves. Well, that's what they say they are, but most of them, I don't know if you can see, but most of them are full pecans, which is awesome. They were a great deal, and I was like, usually I only get them at like Thanksgiving or Christmas, but they were on sale, and so I decided to get a big bag because this is just like such a good treat that you really can't go wrong with. So we're just going to go ahead and add the egg whites in here. And just kind of cover all the pecans and make sure they are all well distributed within that egg whitewash. Just a couple little turns and they should pretty well be covered. And then we'll just set those aside for a minute. And we want to take another bowl, a smaller bowl, and this is real, authentic, 100% maple syrup. Don't use like the pancake syrup. It's way, way, way too sugary with a bunch of other stuff added. And again, that's another way to burn your pecans, and you don't want to do that. So let's see, it's a new bottle. There we go. So I'm going to take my 1/4 cup and fill it. And you don't have to be exact. I think a lot of great recipes are kind of measured by eyeball. Oh, look at that. That was exactly, I didn't even need my measuring spoon. Yeah, I think once you get used to making something pretty often, you can eyeball it. And as long as you're close to what, you know, the measurements are supposed to be, it usually turns out well. So I wouldn't like be super concerned with the exact measurements, but this is what I use. And then we want to take, this is a little over 1/4 cup of bourbon. So we're just going to add that. You can add as little or much as you want. If you add too much, though, the sugar content does rise, and you're going to need to bake your pecans for at least, you know, like a smaller amount of time, but they won't get as crispy and done, so that's up to you. I just like to take a couple little shakefuls of cinnamon, and I only have 1/4 cup measuring spoon, so I'm just going to kind of dry this out so that I can put the brown sugar and the white granulated sugar in here. And so we're going to do a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar. So we'll just mix this up. Some people add pepper to it. that's a good, I guess, spiced candied pecan. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I do like to add a little bit of salt, which I forgot to pull out, so I'm going to grab that. But it just takes a very tiny bit, and that just kind of takes, brings down the sweetness level a tiny bit. So you can use whatever kind of salt you want. I'm just going to use some regular iodized salt, and I'm just going to use, this is probably a quarter of a, maybe a teaspoon, something like that, quarter of a tablespoon, no. Salt to taste. Anyway, you just want to kind of mix that up well. And then, I'm going to set that aside. Move all this stuff out of the way. And you're going to take your butter baking pan and add your pecans, which will be kind of sticky. Excuse me. Be kind of sticky because you've got those egg whites in there, but just use your little spatula or spoon or whatever you have and get all those out. And then you're just going to kind of distribute them as evenly as you can. And you really don't want layers, which is why you probably want to do about 4 cups for a large baking sheet, because other than that, you're not going to be able to get them flat, and they really each need to bake on their own. If they start piling up and getting too many on top, they don't cook evenly, so we don't want that. And then we're just going to take our little mixture that we made and gently pour. And even if you aren't a big alcohol person, obviously the alcohol content gets baked out, so there won't be any actual alcohol in it. It's just for flavor. It's a really good flavor. I personally don't drink bourbon, but I try to keep like a small selection of stuff at the house in case I have a friend over that wants something that I usually don't drink. Like I'll keep a little bit of vodka, a little rum, some kind of whiskey or bourbon, and some Sprites and Cokes or something, just to be hospitable and make sure that everybody has what they want to drink. So now I'm just kind of mixing it all, making sure everything's got like a even distribution of all the different flavors and seasonings. And then we're just going to kind of try to even them out again. And they don't have to be perfect, because what we're going to do is put it in for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to flip them. And then you want to check them in about maybe another 15 minutes. And so let's go ahead and put them in, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I flip them, and then what to look for to know that they're completely done, to pull them out and let them cool. So let's go ahead and stick them in the oven. All right, and I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and pull out the pecans, and I have a half-done concrete countertop, so I can just put these directly on here. If you have any other kind of countertop, you probably want to put some kind of hot plate or something down. But what we're going to do is just give them a good stir, make sure everything is evenly coated, and hopefully most of them will kind of get flipped over so that they bake evenly. And then we're going to go ahead and turn our oven up to 280. And then we're going to put them back in. Originally I was thinking that I only put them back in for about 15 minutes, but I think it's more like 30 to 45 after I looked back at my recipe. So I apologize for that. But we're going to put these back in for at least 30, and we'll check them again. So I've already upped my oven before I started recording, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick these back in. And I'll show you what they look like in about 30 minutes. Turned off my oven, and I put them in for a total of about 45 minutes. For some reason I was thinking it was only about 25, but it's about 45 minutes total. So about every 15 minutes you want to just check them and toss them, make sure they're getting evenly cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my timer. These are done and ready to go. They're going to be super hot, so I'm not going to taste them right now, but I have to admit, like a few minutes ago when I turned off the oven, I let a few cool and try them, and they are amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have a recipe similar, or you have any tips or tricks for me to make this even better, let me know. Of course, I would always love if you would like, subscribe, and if you know anybody that might be interested in this video, of course, share it. So until next time, see y'all later.